Hello there, brothers and sisters. It's your big brother here, Mr.Orwellian, to bring you today's video entertainment, because it's only fair you get to watch me from time to time, since I'm always watching you. I would like to elaborate on the metaphor I used in the previous episode of Call of Duty, and I think I alluded to it a little bit in the Rocket League video, which I'll put those video links in the description below. The river of life is the metaphor that I had used, and I would like to elaborate on that like I had said. We are all born into this river of life. It is a current that's laid out before us by not only our family members of today, but our ancestors, and not just our ancestors, but everybody they interacted with, and that we interact with today. And every choice, every decision that is made by every person has a series of ripple effects that go on to have their own ripple effects. No matter how insignificant these choices seem, they all matter. Every choice, every decision matters. I will go ahead and play the devil's advocate for a brief example. And it may seem arbitrary, but still. For example, something as minuscule as the color of your shirt that you decided to wear and you decided to go on a walk. And because you happen to have a certain build and a certain facial structure, or you just so happen to, like I said, be wearing the red shirt in addition to that, you end up inadvertently setting off a PTSD moment for somebody who just happened to be walking by you, and you would be none the wiser, and you didn't do anything wrong, and you shouldn't not wear red. It's just, I'm just letting you know that every single decision has consequences, and consequences aren't necessarily bad. They can be good. Consequences have, there are good consequences as well. But I'll go ahead and play the angel's advocate, for the lack of a better term. But by choosing to do something good, even as minuscule as helping somebody with loose change, or helping somebody in the most minor things, you can inadvertently cause a ripple effect of good, a catalyst for good. And why wouldn't we want catalysts for good? Because it helps all of us, your fellow humans, your brothers and sisters. All actions have consequences, like I was saying. Sometimes they're immediate, sometimes it takes years for consequences to occur. For instance, eating a poor diet and having a sedentary lifestyle can have consequences that are dire, not just for you, but your family. In healthcare, there is a saying, preventative medicine is the best medicine, because it's far easier for us to not have to come up with a new medication if people are better taken care of, if they take care of themselves better, because we all benefit from this. And I do understand that, not everybody can eat perfect, and not everybody can exercise perfectly, because, that's impossible. Nobody's perfect. However, it doesn't mean you can't put in the effort to better yourself, for yourself, and for everybody else around you, because everybody's affected around you by that, by the decisions that you make. Every choice has either in-your-face consequences or long-term consequences. Having, like I said, a poor diet, a long-term consequence to that is diabetes. Is chronic heart failure, is all of these different problems that obesity or sedentary lifestyles beget. And why not put these actions into motion for good for yourself, by walking, by eating fruit, by just trying to do something good for yourself. Essentially, we are all reacting to every prior person's actions. Life is simply this. Every person, every human being is connected to each other. So why not reach out and get to know that connection? With that being said, I truly believe that history and sociology are among the most important subjects to learn, or at least have a basic understanding of, because these two subjects tell our stories as brothers and sisters of the human race. all of our faults, all of our triumphs. Because if you don't know where we come from, how else are you supposed to achieve a higher level of humanity? You have to understand where we come from. There needs to be a reference point to relate to. Do you know your history? Do you know our story as a human race? All the horrible things we have done? All the countless selfless acts we've done? All the wonders we've invented and lost to time? It is all connected. A war in 100 BC between the Han Dynasty and a Greek city-state residing in the Uzbekistan region affects us today. I mean, if you want to know more about that, it's a war called the Heavenly Horses, and anyone who want to do more research out of curiosity, I mean, it was essentially just a war between, like I said, the two factions over horses that the Greeks end up having. But anyway, if you don't know the current we are born into, you know, the river that we're born into, you give up control over the path of the current that we're all going down. Those who control the past control the future, to paraphrase Orwell, which leaves you without the reference from the past to solidify the future, to make yourself stone to change the course of the river for the betterment of us all. The control of the current goes to those that act as rocks by taking action to redirect the current for the betterment of us all, brothers and sisters. Now, this may sound weird to some of you, but those who maybe study zoology or know a little bit about history may understand what I'm saying. The way that I view the history of the world is a 3D spider web, with all the strands of the web representing choices that people have made. All the people throughout all time. When you pluck a certain web, it has a residual waves that reverberate across the whole of the spectrum of time and history. Where are you on that web? How big is your strand? What will you do today that will be felt not only tomorrow, but far into the future? How big will your reverberations be? That's what you need to ask yourself, brothers and sisters, is we are, like I said, we are all interconnected. So why not choose to do good? Why not be the better person? Why not make the effort to pluck the strand of history for the betterment of not just yourself, but for everybody? Because things culminate, things push past a threshold, and if we all join together, if we all make constant good choices, those choices will naturally beget good consequences. That's what I would like to leave you with, my brothers and sisters. Live with integrity, because, you know, as your big brother, Mr. Orwellian, is always watching you.